Hi everyone, this is Gaia, your fantastic and very cool, very professional speaker for this PowerPoint presentation on Shakespeare, mostly on his plays. But since we're talking about Shakespeare and he wrote a lot of poets, let's just have a quick rundown of what he wrote. Basically, mainly poetry. He wrote a lot of sonnets that he published in the 1600s, 1600s, whatever, we don't care. And these were about the fair youth or the dark lady. Now, I already know that you know that. Like, I already know that you know who these two are. But let's just rehearse. Now, since Shakespeare is not like other poets, it's different to everybody. He didn't wrote his poets about fair maiden with golden hair and blue eyes and red lips and fair skin. No. He wrote like 70% of his sonnets dedicated to a man. Yes, everybody. We stand a bisexual queen, my bad. And the others, he dedicated them to the dark lady, who did not look like the stereotypical lady that the poets really like to gush about, but it looked more like Zendaya, because, I mean, relatable. Now, let's talk about plays. He wrote a lot of plays, almost 40. I could never. How did he do that? I have no idea. And it has the very classic 5-act structure, and the central conflict is about the characters. It's character conflicting with each other, because that's what we like, character-driven stories. And the scenes are dynamic because they change between exposition and action, and we like that. We always gotta keep a little bit of balance between the things. And usually the plays were set either in the past or abroad. Why? Because critiquing the monarchy wasn't something the king really liked. And since he wrote for the King's Men Company Theatre, he couldn't really criticize the king, and he couldn't really talk bad about his boss, because it was his boss. But we're gonna see that later. Now, first off, this is all the things that he wrote. It's a lot, and they are divided in comedies, histories, and tragedies. And this is one way of dividing them, but there's another subdivision that distinguishes 5 types of plays. There are comedies, histories, tragedies, and late romances, and problem plays that I've colored to let you see which one are which. And but we don't care about all that. We care about the 3 we're gonna talk about, which is Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and Hamlet. Before we go, a little meme to get into the mood. Yeah, that's actually how he wrote them. Like, this is all the characters. And he was slaying, like the king is, every character in his plays. First off, Romeo and Juliet. And everybody is like, oh my god, that's the best love story ever. No. Some studies suggest that Shakespeare did not think like that he wrote this as a joke, because it was meant to be a parody of people that actually took this thing seriously. And I'm willing to believe that the story starts with the beautiful city of Mantua that right now is in a brawl, and the brawl is between the Capulets and Montagues, everybody. Woo! Who's gonna win? Nobody knows. And why they fight? Nobody knows. They just hate each other very much. But let's move about our main guy, our Romeo, that is obsessing over a girl who is not Juliet. Wrong. She's Rosalind. She never appears on screen, and she's just a plot device. Fantastic. And we have Mercutio and Benvolio. And he's smiling because he's Benvolio. Whatever. And Mercutio is like, I heard she's going to this very rad party at the Capulets tonight, and we are not invited because we're Montagues. And he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna go anyway, because party, am I right? Now, we meet Juliet. And Juliet is having a conversation with her mom, and the conversation goes a little bit like this. you know, you're 14, you're almost expired, you should really marry before you expire. You know, when I was your age, I was already married and pregnant with you. And I'm like, and she's like, you should really marry this Prince Paris guy. He sounds like a really nice guy. You should totally fall in love with him. And Juliet is like, joke's on you, I'm gonna fall in love with a Montague. And she does that. She goes to the party, they look at each other, they stare really hard in their eyeballs, they dance for a bit, and then they are in love. Because that's how it works, I guess. And after this, Romeo has to scram away from the parties because somebody noticed him, and we have the very fantastic balcony scene, everyone. This is the actual balcony in Verona. We like it. And Juliet is like, Romeo, Romeo, why are you Romeo? And Romeo is like, I can be whoever you want tonight. And she's like, you're there. No, I can't let you in. I'm a pious girl. I'm a very demure girl. I cannot. I literally cannot have you in my room. And he's like, well, then let's get married so we can love each other without any repercussions. And she's like, yeah, okay, meet me tomorrow at 9. And meet me tomorrow at 9 is I will send my old lady to talk to you. They agree to meet each other at Friar Lawrence's place, and Romeo asks the maid to bring a ladder for him so he can reach the up top of his pleasure. We know what you mean, Romeo, you're not slick. They get married in the chapel with Friar Lawrence at like halfway the play. That's very fast. I could never. The next day, Mercutio and Benvolio are just hanging around doing their thing, and then Tybalt shows up, that is from the Capulets, and he wants to fight because he's like, yeah, you know, Romeo was at our party yesterday, he was not invited and I want to fight him. But Romeo is there like, I just married to my wife, I'm so happy, and tomorrow night I'm gonna consume my love with her. Yes, that. And Tybalt is like, I want to fight you. And Romeo is like, no, please, I don't want to fight. I'm so happy right now. I wouldn't want to accidentally kill somebody in the process. No, that would ruin my mood totally. And so Mercutio is like, don't worry, bro, I'll fight for you. So they fight, but Romeo is like, no, please do not kill each other. And he puts himself in the middle, his cape gets in the way, and Mercutio gets stabbed. Whoopsie, and he's dead. Romeo is like, you killed my best friend, now I'm gonna kill you, and he's dead. Whoops. So Romeo is like, oh my god, I just killed a man, what am I gonna do? And Benvolio is like, run away. He runs away. The prince comes around and is like, what is happening, everybody? And Benvolio explains. So the prince is not fascist, he just sends Romeo away. Meanwhile, Paris is talking about how he wants to marry Juliet, and he's like 20 and she's 14.
Brother,
Juliet is distraught because his guy just got himself exiled from the city and she cannot be with him anymore. And Romeo is doing the same. He just ran to Friar Lawrence crying and being like, I would rather kill myself than not stay a day with my Juliet. And Friar Lawrence is like, no, don't worry, I will arrange a meeting between you two, don't worry, I will do that. And Romeo is like, yay! So that night they do their thing, let them do their thing, move on to the next day, skip. So the next day the mother comes in and she sees that Juliet is really crying, and she's like, no, you must really be sad because Tybalt, your cousin, died, right? And you must be really angry that Romeo got away with it. And she's like, yeah, sure, mother, believe that. I'm very sad because of Romeo. I'm very upset and distraught. Damn you, Romeo. I would never love a man like that. And she's like, yeah, sure, you should totally get married because you're about to get expired. So your dad arranged a marriage with Paris, you know, remember that? And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get married. And the dad walks in and is like, I arranged the marriage for you. You are so ungrateful to not wanting to get married with this guy. Kids this stage. Jesus Christ, why can't anybody follow what their parents says? You know what? If you don't marry him, I will disown you, and you better become like a prostitute or whatever to survive, because I will not be picking you up after that. And that was unnecessarily cruel, but that's what actually happened, so I guess that's fine. He goes away. She decides to just go away and cry to Friar Lawrence, but you guessed it, this guy is there, and he's like, yeah, I totally want to marry Juliet, and she's like, Friar Lawrence, help me, or I will jump out of the window. And Friar Lawrence is like, no, would you please everybody stop killing themselves? You know what, you want to kill yourself? Here, take this poison. This is fake killing yourself. Very, very important thing. You drink this and you fake die. How about that? And she's like, yay, I get to fake die, and then I'll whisk you away to Romeo. Is that okay with you? You get to die and be with your lover. Is that okay? And Juliet is like, yay! So she goes home and she's like, yeah, I will marry him. Oh, sure, we're gonna marry you tomorrow. And she's like, tomorrow. Okay, leave please, because I need to get ready. Okay, cool. So she's like, go, 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 go. And she takes the poison and she fake dies. The next day, the nurse comes and she's like, wakey, wakey, Juliet. I know you won't have much sleeping to do tonight after your wedding, but you gotta wake up. And she's not responsive, and so she deduces that she's dead, and everybody cries. Moving on, the guy who had to deliver the fact that Juliet was fake dead, not dead, to Romeo didn't reach his destination, so Romeo hears that Juliet is dead, and he's like, no, Juliet is dead, I'm gonna go kill myself on her tomb. And so he goes. Misunderstanding. Fantastic, that's the backbone on every Shakespeare play, I guess. At Juliet's tomb, Paris is very much crying because his teenage bride is dead and he didn't get to marry her. How sad. Romeo gets there and is like, listen man, I just gotta kill myself real quick. Could you do me a solid and just walk out for a second and let me do that? But Paris is like, no, you came here to desecrate my dear Juliet's body. If you don't leave, I will fight you. And Romeo is like, really, my man? Really, my guy? Are you really gonna fight me over this? And he's like, on God! And he dies. Whoopsies. Okay, fantastic. So Romeo is like, oh, my Juliet, we'll be together in heaven. Takes some poison and dies. Right when Juliet is opening her eyes, and Friar Lawrence come in, and he's like, Juliet, it was a misunderstanding. You get it? You don't have to kill yourself. I will get you to a nunnery. Please do not kill yourself. And she's like, no, Romeo, why did you do that? You finished all the poison. Now I don't have any to kill myself with. How selfish of you. Oh, look, you have a dagger. Fantastic. Whoops, I'm dead. Friar Lawrence is like, oh my God, why these teens? Everybody comes, and he's like, yeah, so this happens. So everybody decides to just peace and not fight anymore. The end. Now moving on to the next one. We got the fantastic Hamlet. Yeah, the poster is correct. Why are you looking at me like that? So we got Hamlet, that he's not any guy. He's a prince guy, and he's not any prince. He's the Prince of Denmark, but he's not any Prince of Denmark. He's the Prince of Denmark with a dead father. We're already starting early with the death. I know. Anyway, he's very sad about it because his father died while he was studying in England for his college degree, so he's very, very sad about it. And he decides to go back to his castle and try to find out who killed his father. If only there was a convenient plot device to tell ourselves how his father died. Hey, look, Hamlet, isn't that the ghost of your father's corpse? The ghost of his father tells him that it was his evil uncle to kill him. So now Hamlet wants revenge. While all of this happens, like all the play happens, this guy, the king of Norway, is just coming down to invade Denmark for some reason, and he's just there during the plot. It will be relevant at the end. At the castle, where the important things are happening, we have the king's brother who is marrying Hamlet's mom, the queen, and she seems totally fine with it. Okay, cool, fantastic. And they are just married. Whee! Hooray! Let's introduce some other characters. The advisor, Polonius, and his son, Laertes, who will just come back in Act 4 and goes to study in French. And his daughter, Ophelia, that is really in love with Hamlet, and since she's in love with Hamlet, the dad does not want her to be in love with Hamlet. For I forgot what reason, but that's a conflict point, I guess. Moving on, Hamlet just came back from a talk with his dead father, and Ophelia sees him very, very distraught, and she's like, Dad, I just saw Hamlet being very upset. Why do you think that is? And Polonius is like, yeah, he's totally in love with you. He's mad. He's acting mad because he's mad in love with you, that's why. Not because his father died like 2 months ago. What is that? No. Since Polonius is a goddamn snitch, he goes to tell the king, Hamlet's uncle, because I mean, that's what a snitch does. Thank you, Polonius. So the king calls the two friends of Hamlet's who know him really well, and tells them, hey, would you please go to Hamlet and like spend some time with him, check on him, see if he's okay, and if he doesn't, like, I don't know, is planning to murder me or something. I just don't want that to happen. So they're like, yeah, of course. So they go and like, hey Hamlet, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing right. But Hamlet is too big brain to see, to fall for these things, so he sees through their schemes, and he's like, no, I cannot be with you because you're with my uncle, but I will act as if I don't know that. And so they're like, yeah, we brought a play company to do some plays, would you like that? And he's like, yeah, sure, why don't we do a play where a guy kills a king, but the guy is actually the king's brother, and it kills him in the same way that my dead father's ghost told me he got killed. How do you think about that? And they're like, yeah, that's genius! The what told you what? No, it's not important. Put on the show, thank you. In the meantime, Ophelia gives him back the love letter because Polonia told her so. And that's a way of Ophelia to be like, I don't need your love, I refuse you. And Hamlet is like, I do not care about your letter, go into a nunnery, thank you. You're used to goods. And she cries, and Polonia is like, so he's not mad in love with Ophelia, oh my gosh, I gotta tell the king. But he does not get to tell the king because now there's the play, the murder of Gonzago. And Gonzago is this fictional guy who's actually the king, and so a metaphor, play within the play. And when the scene of the killing happens, the king runs away, and that's enough proof for Hamlet to go after his uncle and try to murder him. But the guy's in the church and he's praying, so Hamlet is like, I'm gonna wait for him to finish praying so that his soul doesn't go to heaven. Yeah, that's smart, genius plan. He goes back and his mother is like, you know, you could be a little kinder to your uncle. He's a really nice guy. And Hamlet is like, no, mother, he killed my dad. Why are you with him? Gosh, if you weren't my mother, I would kill you. And Polonius, who is always listening, listens in and is like, oh my god, somebody wants to kill the queen. Hamlet wants to kill the queen. Don't worry, my queen, I'm here to help you. Behind the tent. Why not just move the tent? We don't know, whatever. And Hamlet hears someone and is like, no, you don't get to scream, you gotta die, and stabs him a lot of time, and discovers it's Polonius because he didn't bother to move the curtain. Very smart of him, and yeah, whoopsies, he killed the advisor that nobody will know because it just goes to hide the body. Our protagonist, everybody! But before doing that, he threatens his own mother to rethink her life choices. Moving on, the king gives a letter to the two friends of Hamlet, and in the letter, they don't know, it's said to kill Hamlet as soon as they get to England, because Hamlet is going back to England even though he doesn't want to. And so Hamlet is doomed, right? No, wrong, because Hamlet is too big brained for this. So he exchanges the letter with another one that he forged. So when they get off the boat, the one who's gonna get killed is not him, but his friends. Our protagonist, everyone, I guess. Moving on. Girl is sad because his dad died and nobody thought to keep her away from deep waters, so she dies drowned, but nobody knows if she actually did it herself, she just slipped. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But this is a plot point because it causes our French guy to come back. Hi there, how you doing? I do not care about you. Anyway, he goes to the king and is like, yeah, I would like to kill Macbeth, thank you very much. I would like revenge because both my dad and my sister are dead. So if you would like to like help me, that would be very helpful of you. And he's like, yeah, sure, I will help you. Here, we'll stage a duel, and I'll give you a poison sword to stab Macbeth with. But if he doesn't die from the poison, we'll give him this poison chalice to drink for the victory. So he will die anyway. Either you win or you lose. So yeah, this won't backfire in any possible way, am I right? Hamlet is back from England because nothing can hold him back, and is with his servant Horatio, because yes, listening in to two guys talking about how dead Ophelia is, and he starts monologuing with the skull. Very, very boring part. Let's just skip it. And the corpse of Ophelia comes, and Laertes is there, and he's like, oh my god, I've always loved you, Ophelia. And Laertes is like, Hamlet, and they start fighting. This guy is gonna rule a kingdom someday. I cannot. They get separated and Hamlet gets told about the duel, and they accept because what could possibly go wrong? I mean, yeah, it's not like everybody's poisoning you. Yeah. So at the duel, I'm gonna narrate you the duel like I'm this guy. Hey everybody, so Horatio, your man here, and today we're witnessing the duel between Hamlet, my master, and this guy who I don't even know the name of because I do not care because he's gonna lose. So you all know the rules. The first one who hits the opponent 3 times is gonna win. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hamlet starts strong with the first hit to Laertes. Go Hamlet, go, and he's got a second hit. Woo! The crowd is loving him, and the queen is trying to toast to her son. How sweet of her. King, why are you trying to not let her drink from the cup? It's not like it's poison or whatever. Here, yeah, cheers. Thank you very much, queen. But hey, Laertes got a hit to Hamlet. How's Hamlet gonna react? Hamlet ditches the sword and just straight up attacks him. The swords are on the floor. I cannot see anything, guys. The swords are ditched on the ground, but then Hamlet grabs Laertes' sword and just kills him with it. No, it doesn't kill him, but he wins the duel, everybody. I'm so proud of my master. And what's happening? What's happening? Oh my god, the queen is dead! That chalice was actually poisoned. What's happening on the battlefield there? talking? Why they're talking? Oh my gosh, he was actually the king who orchestrated this thing, and they're both gonna die because Laertes' sword was poisoned. Hamlet, how does that make you feel? Hamlet, lower the sword. Hamlet, please do not kill your uncle. Hamlet, you killed your uncle. Okay, I guess you're king now since you're the son of the previous king. What is your first rule? Oh yeah, you're gonna die. I forgot about that. So who's supposed to be king? Am I supposed to kill myself? No, okay, I'm not gonna kill myself. Who is supposed to be king? The next guy who walks out of this door. Fantastic, good death, my lord. And you wanna be king? The end. Okay, I hope you're having fun. I hope y'all are having fun with the murder because it's about to get worse. Everybody know Macbeth? I hope you don't know the story of Macbeth because yes, this is gonna be a very bumpy ride and I hope you're strapped in for this. There's gonna be a lot of murder in it. So the play starts with 3 witches that are just hanging around talking about Macbeth because they're witches and they can see the future. And meanwhile, Macbeth is doing pretty great and he's with his friend Banquo and the King Duncan. They just won a battle. So King Duncan is just like, you did a great job out there. You two must be promoted. Maybe I will see what promotion I can get you. And they're both very happy, but then they meet the witches and the witches start prophesizing and they call Macbeth, oh, Thane of Glamis, and Macbeth is like, I am Thane of Glamis, and then the witches are like, Macbeth, Thane of Coder. I am not Thane of Coder, but you got the wrong guy, maybe, it's not me, I'm not Thane of Coder, it's not a guy. And they're like, King Macbeth, King Macbeth, Mando. King Macbeth, no, I'm not king, everybody. Duncan is king, not me. And my friend Banquo is nothing. No, Banquo will be the father of a lineage of king, a really, really successful lineage of kings. So he's got it good. And then they just poof away. And the two are just there trying to talk when they hear the news that the Thane of Coder was actually a filthy traitor and so he got himself killed. And so King Duncan was like, hey Macbeth, I'm gonna promote you to Thane of Coder. And so everybody's like, yeah, I'm Thane of Coder. The prophecy was actually right. Maybe I'll also be king, but I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with fate. I shouldn't mess with fate because fate is a whole deal that I don't want to get my hands in. If I'll be king, I'll be king. I'll be happy. If not, I'll just live my life. I'm already settled. And so Macbeth writes about this prophecy to his wife, which is a total badass, go queen, slay. So she's like, I already know that my husband will be too much of a wuss to actually get through with this. He is not enough of a man to actually realize his destiny and kill the actual king, so I'll have to do everything myself or I'll have to convince him. I wonder if I'll have an occasion to kill the king and then the plot is like, hey there. The king is like, could I be housed here today? I would really like to stay here, Macbeth, since I really trust Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is like, yeah, sure. I will totally protect you and not kill you tonight since you trust me so much. I'm very glad. Now you should totally go to sleep. Have a good death. I mean, good night. Good night. Bye. See you tomorrow or not. So Macbeth comes back and she's like, we gotta kill Duncan. And Macbeth, of course, he's like, no, I don't want to kill Duncan. He's my king and I really like him as a friend. So Lady Macbeth is like, oh my god, look at me, I'm Macbeth. I could not kill my own king to realize my own destiny. And so Macbeth is like, that's not true. I'm actually enough of a man to kill my own king. Watch me. And so he does. And Duncan is dead. Whoops. But I mean, the king died in their palace. There will be some suspect that the king is killed by them because died in their palace. How are they gonna get away with that? There's not a convenient butler to take the blame. I mean, there are the guards who were supposed to guard the king's chamber, but they were actually drunk because Lady Macbeth made them drunk. So now they're asleep, and so they didn't hear a thing. Problem solved. It was the guards. They killed the king. You gotta believe me. Mr. Macduff that just arrived to check on the king, and Macduff is like, you kind of sus, Macbeth, but I guess you're king now. So the end, Macbeth becomes king, and his destiny is fulfilled. Hooray! No, you wanted that. You wanted that. No, that's not the end, because Macbeth is paranoid that Banquo is gonna steal his throne and his crown, since now he's king and is prophesied to be the father of a lineage of king. How dare him? How dare he? So he gets two guys and he's like, guard, go kill Banquo. And the guards are like, okay, we will. So Banquo's dead, but not his son. His son lives. Keep that in mind for the end. After Banquo dies, Macbeth has this huge banquet with all the nobles that are in the palace. And I want you to imagine this thing. This long table with all rich people, and Macbeth is supposed to sit at the top of the table since he's king, but he sees Banquo's ghost and he starts shouting at Banquo's ghost because you came back for your throne, go away. And Lady Macbeth is there like, what is going on? Don't worry, everybody. He's just grieving for the king's death. Oh, would you please leave us alone? That's his way of coping. Thank you very much. And that's how I imagine the scene. This is a masterpiece. You cannot tell me otherwise. So after this display of Macbeth being very mentally stable, he does what any mentally stable person does after he just killed someone. He goes back to the witches that caused this whole thing to happen, because they surely will have a not evil reason behind this and will advise him in the right way. Sure, I'll believe you, Macbeth. And so he's like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm king. How am I supposed to stay king? Because I'm kind of paranoid right now. And the witches are like, yeah, we're just gonna tell you 3 things. Very easy, very easy. So you gotta beware of Macduff. So be ready for him because he's dangerous. He's very, very dangerous. And no man born from a woman can kill you. So chill with that. And you'll meet your doom when the forest starts moving towards you. So chill with that as well. And Macbeth is like, I'm totally chill right now. There is no way. Men are not born from women and forest moving towards me? As if. I just have to kill Macduff. That's be fine. That'll be fine. Guards, please kill the guy. And the guys are like, okay. So they go and they try to kill Macduff, but they go to his castle and it's empty and there's only his family inside, so only the family dies, but not actually him. He lives. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth is having her own little hallucination, which is seeing her hands bloody, because that's the blood from the myrrh that even if she didn't touch, it stains her soul because she is guilty. You couldn't be more heavy-handed than that, really. Going back to Macduff, he discovers that he gotta change his Facebook status from married to widowed because his wife is dead. So he teams up with Duncan's son, Malcolm, to kill Macbeth. Just guys being bros, killing people together. So they go to their troops and they're like, wait. I got a fantastic idea. What if, to hide our troops, we get them to carry a little branch with some leaves, so it looks like not that many people are coming out of the forest. Yeah, you got it? You got my image? Yeah, that's right. We're gonna dress this army up as a forest. We're smart. Result, Macbeth sees the forest moving towards him. I guess it's time to panic, guys. Woo woo woo! But don't worry, Macbeth. More good news on the go. Your wife killed herself. How does that make you feel? And he makes him feel like monologuing very sadly for a while. And I'm gonna skip that too because I cannot. He's monologuing so much that Macduff has the time to smash the window, come inside and challenge him to a duel. And he goes a little bit like this. Haha, you can't kill me because no man born from a woman can kill me. And dude is like, joke's on you, I was a cesarean baby. And Macbeth is like, no, the trick I didn't saw coming, no, and gets beheaded. So now Macduff can put the rightful king on the throne, which is the son of Duncan. Wait, I hear you cry. What about this guy who was the son of Banquo's? Wasn't he supposed to be king? And wasn't Banquo supposed to father a lineage of king? Yes, because this was an actual reference to real life, because this guy was actually James IV of Scotland that became James I of England. So the prophecy came true in real life. And why is Shakespeare doing this? Because the king gives money to him to write propaganda, to uphold the monarchy basically. And so once in a while Shakespeare has to be thankful for all the money and all the luxury that the king blesses him with. So the moral of the story is, do not kill the king. I repeat this for the French people in the back. Do not kill the king or I will lose my job and become homeless. Or the universe will explode and you will die. Probably. Gotcha. So that was my Shakespeare presentation. I hope you liked it. I hope you had a little bit of a laugh and that you retained some of the information I told you. Because I'm a firm believer of the docere et delectare doctrine. So learning by having fun. I really hope you had a good time and I didn't bore you too much. Bye. Peace. Peace. See you at the next one, if I'll ever make it.